Hello. Oh, here we go. Is it open? I'm just gonna double check that on the main channel this is working. Yeah, cool, okay. And the thumbnail correct, okay. So, I'm just going to give a link. Here we go. I think this can work. You can't give a link to, yeah, okay. I'm dumb. I think that works. Okay. I think people will be able to see that. Yeah, they can. Cool. Nice. Okay. So, I want to immediately first off begin, right, where, like, you know, the situation with everything, right? Because I wanted to make sure I actually made a dedicated video about this. With Thorne and with the Phantom, right? Like there was an issue where I mismanaged the project. Or at least when it comes to Thorne, because you know, Phantom is more akin to, I guess, like an individual kind of animation project. Thorne itself was mismanaged due to my lack of experience, right? And so I put that project on pause. And like that's kind of like the I really wish I updated you sooner about it, like to everyone who's here. I do regret that, to be honest. I have a tendency when it comes to like, you know, doing what I do at the moment to like not quite, you know, I'm not very like consistent when it comes to uploading videos or consistent in like output. I haven't been like when it came to during development of Thorne. When I developed it, I wasn't really looking after myself. And that's like the most frank thing I can really say, right? Is I didn't look after myself enough, and because of that, I couldn't properly, effectively direct, and there were a lot of mistakes made. Some of the mistakes were having too many people, not really knowing what I was doing in terms of like how to properly manage them, and not really reining in the scale of the game. So that's something I do admit that, like, you know, I kind of like wish that, like, you know, I actually was better at, I suppose. I probably should change it to explaining just what I'm doing now rather than the Golden Flame what I'm doing now. Because I do want to make a dedicated video explaining Golden Flame, but I guess this is a good start, right? What I want to do with this here, right, is like the Golden Flame is essentially like the way I treat it anyway, is the messenger before. You know, if referring to Sabotage Studios, right, the people who made the messenger, Thorne is the Sea of Stars for me, right? Thorne is the game I want to go back to and properly make. It's the game that I really want to, like, you know, put my heart and soul into, and honestly, you know, make sure it sees, you know, come to life at some point, right? I want to see that game shine into the sun, and I still want to hold to that. But I need to make sure I get stable footing and make sure that, like, I know what I'm doing when I jump back into it. Because that was the main issue with Thorne, right? Was a lack of experience. The game began as literally a shipwreck game. You know, so there were a lot of problems along the way, you know? But I've gained a lot of experience due to the failures I made when I was developing Thorne, and it's why I've been able to do a lot better with Golden Flame. And Golden Flame is the new project I'm working on at the moment, or new priority. And I have been doing quite well with that. The reason I'm making a video now is because I wanted to talk about the Golden Flame and, you know, actually show it, because there's a lot I've done. And, you know, there's a lot I'm proud of, in a sense, right? Because when I was working on Thorne, I burnt myself out. And that's what led me to start working on the Golden Flame, was because I wanted to do something on a small scale, but I could still be passionate about. Something akin to the Messenger from Sabotage Studios. And I don't direct the Golden Flame, but I'm the main animator and artist, and I'm very happy with that. And this is like, you know, this is something that I put a lot of hope into, right? You know, I do have a lot of ambition when it comes to this game, and so far, you know, I've been very fucking proud of myself. So, yeah, it's like, it's just Golden Flame, like, it began as like a Castlevania-like game, right? You know, we took inspiration from like Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and a few other games like that, with a Game Boy aesthetic. And eventually, we ended up coming to like a very different kind of situation where now the game is dramatically different. Now, is this the right? Yeah, I think that's the right build. Ignore the fucking teleport. Yeah, like, so hang on, let me make sure I actually grab some enemies here. It's still obviously a work in progress, but there's been many updates. So there's been a lot of animation and other things like that, and so that's what I want to show everyone, right? Okay. So I'll just drop that's a really bad spot to put in there. This room is an absolute mess, so let me just clean it up for a moment. I kind of just did this on the fly, so you can kind of tell. I think putting that there is good, actually. Delete all that. All this is for, this is the debug room for the Golden Flame. But like the idea of the Golden Flame essentially, like, because I might as well explain that before I really get into this. And I'll just delete that old. There's two versions of Lily because of how many different times I've altered her. So I'll just quickly run through all these. Oh, is that not? Are you kidding me? Is that not a? Oh, it's an entity. Okay, yeah, books. I need to organize a little better sometimes, so I'll just delete all that. So you can see I've come quite a long way already, right? In terms of like, you know, there's like a lot of background art and a lot of stuff like that. I want to show you how she plays though, because and then I can explain the premise of this game after. I do want to make like a properly edited and professional video about this, you know, after that. Oh, shit. Yeah, so this is Lily at the moment. This is a knight, like you got to like a powerful but very easy to abuse enemy, and you can clip through walls at the moment, but you still work in progress. And there's a lot of really cool stuff when it comes to Lily herself. I really enjoy like her, you know, she's a very distinctive mechanic here where she can. Oh, the gravity! I forgot. Oh god. She can mini form, and this mini form, you know, she doesn't have a lot of her abilities because she can't dash. However, she has a small hitbox, and she can still, like, you know. Fuck. Oh god, I completely forgot that the mini kunai are like wrecked. God damn it. Yeah, so you've seen a bit of the gameplay, right? But like, I've been working on this for a good couple months now. Okay, like maybe 4 or so, like roughly, and I have like a lot of enemies set up. You know, like I had to rework a lot of it because I wasn't used to Game Maker. But yeah, there's a lot like there, but I'll go into them more after explaining what the game is. So, this game, essentially, like, the story behind it is, Lily is like a yokai, essentially, right? She's a, like, kind of spirit entity, is a good way to put it, and, you know, she's been, like, raised up in, like, the Great Forest and whatnot with her family for, quite a few years. Yokai in this world need energy, right? And a lot of the energy that the yokai lived off was supplied by an object known as, well, the Golden Flame. This beautiful thing here, which is a collection of life energy that's actually been kind of condensed. You know, because life energy disperses into nature when, like, living beings are killed. So, spirits do count as kind of living beings, but, like, anything that, like, you know, has life energy in it can, you know, disperse it out. And so if enough builds up in the air, it will coalesce over time into a smaller version of this, and eventually, if enough of it coalesces again, it will become a golden flame. So this takes like hundreds of years, this process, right? It's very akin to like coal in that way, but, you know, not really coal. That's not really a good comparison. I'm not trying to make an environmental theme here. And a more accurate thing would be like, I guess, what would be a good comparison, I guess? I guess the sun. Yeah, the sun's more accurate, right? Like, it's kind of like how a ball of gas will eventually form into a star. That's kind of what happened here with the golden flame, but on a much smaller scale. There's a bunch of just raw life energy that can dunk down into becoming this thing. And what the golden flame does is it disperses the energy out and becomes like a funnel. It will start grabbing life energy that's in the air that's not really being used by anything, and it's a lot harder to, kind of take into yourself, and it will direct it into more solid state beings, right? So it will direct it into plants, animals, and yokai, right, and any creatures around in the local area. And unless a being tried to take it, normally, right? Because a being that tries to take it usually gets absorbed or killed. But if they've got strong enough will and enough power, they can take the golden flame and relocate it somewhere else. And so this is what happened: is the golden flame was stolen from the Great Forest. Haven't got a name for it yet. We'll figure out some name, some stupid Japanese bullshit. But the golden flame was stolen by a person known as the Hierophant, right? And he's like a ruler of a kingdom who he took it in order to try and resolve essentially a massive plague and other things that were being wrought upon the kingdom. Because the flame can heal entities, obviously, because life energy itself can repair wounds and do all sorts of crazy crap, right? Because it's the fundamental building block of a lot of beings. But because it's not in the local area of a yokai, it can't give energy to them. So a lot of them are being starved of energy. And that includes Lily's family, and even Lily herself to a certain extent, but more Lily's family. Because Lily herself is strong enough to survive if she were to go and kill other beings, right, and absorb their energy. And her parents are, but her brothers and sisters are too young to do so. The parents are actually giving their life energy to keep the children alive, a desperate bid, because they've lived a long life, and they want to sacrifice their children. And so the problem is obviously that now Lily, many beings try to reclaim the golden flame and bring it back, because you still need it doesn't have to be the strongest being to move the flame necessarily, but when I say take the flame, it's more akin to taking it and trying to absorb it into yourself, which is what the Hierophant did. And that's the other reason as to why the golden flame isn't giving energy to yokai anymore, is because he absorbed the golden flame, and because of that he's fundamentally changing where the energy goes. It's a bit more complex than that, but yeah. So she just needs to reclaim this this particular thing and try and bring it back. And so I guess the game's aesthetic is a weird mix of a kind of the earlier parts, especially of the game, are more Japanese orientated, as she's trying to actually go through a village to reach the kingdom, and she gets to a certain point, right, where it becomes a lot more proper medieval, but kind of over dramatic. This knight, for example, here is literally a knight whose soul was put into a metal curved armor, a really big one. And so that's the kind of enemies that you encounter. And that's a basic story, right? And so along the way, there's really cool bosses and other shit like that. But I guess part of the reason I like it is because I can still be very expressive and be as extreme as I want with the animation, right? I can really be creative with the animation. That's one of the things I think has really helped me keep going with Golden Flame a lot. Is the animation's been really fun, right? I've been able to I've learned a lot. I've learned how to be a lot quicker and more effective with animation. But I've also been able to do a lot with it as well. So a good example of this here, right, where I've got a full cycle of our animations here. A lot of these are very I love these, right? They're great. You get all these some of the goofier ones like that. You get the that one's really funny there too. I should explain her shrinking mechanic. So her shrinking mechanic, Lily's a yokai because she can literally shapeshift. But some yokai are better than others, right? A good example is where is it? You know what? I'm just gonna pull up the animation for the wolf. Let me have a look. Give me a moment. Oh god, these are great. Okay, so I found the wolf animation. Okay, so this is just a good old fashioned silly. Wait, is that? There we go. Good old fashioned silly looking yokai wolf. Yeah, he looks very extreme. I really love the design. And you know what I did with it was hang on, this is the yeah, I think it's been updated from this, but this is pretty close to what I want to show. This is literally what it can do, right? So yokai can shapeshift, but this one's a primal one. There's a difference between primal and normal yokai. Kind of like Hollow Knight, if you want to put it that way, right? Like Hollow Knight, for example, has like we can't look like I did before we even remembered that Hollow Knight essentially has done the same thing, but that's not the point. But in Hollow Knight, there's clearly like bugs that, like, you know, they're a bit more savage. They're a bit more, they don't have like proper sentience level intelligence. And this is kind of what the yokai, these particular yokai are like, right? Because they put all their energy into just simply surviving, and because of that, they don't really access the higher brain functions because they don't have them, right? You need to have energy for a long period of time to have a higher brain function. Or in this case, it's not really brain, it's like soul, right? Sorry, I need to make sure I keep this in mythological terms. In order to have a higher soul function, or to have more layers of your soul, in order to achieve like a high level of intelligence sentience, you need to have the energy to do that. And if you're like a wolf hunting around, you're not going to be able to do that. And the Golden Flame like gives energy, but it's more likely to direct it at beings that are already over the limit, rather than beings that are like this already, or not beings that, kind of beings that are already over the limit. So, you know, say for example, an elder wolf would actually be already like this, and then if they have children, it can kind of draw that energy towards them, right? Because they have more potential, right? If a being's been like this for a long time, they're more likely to reject it just because the fundamental nature is very feral, or like primal, I guess the best way to put it. So these entities already can shapeshift, right? But when it comes to like entities like like Lily, who is not a primal yokai, like normally they can, like, you know, they can do a bit, right? Like they like the entities, normal yokai can like shapeshift like this, you know, where they're kind of doing it very passively because they're just letting their emotion control them, or they can be trained and disciplined into shapeshifting more proactively, right? Where that animation is so stupid. You can kind of see here at a certain point. You know, I'm going to just show the next, right? It's actually better if I do that. Oh, that's laggy. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, right about here. Teabag? Oh god. But like, I think this is the one. Yeah, that's the one. So, as you can see here, Lily has the ability to literally change her shape into a younger version of herself, essentially, right? Because she has strong memories of herself when she was younger. You know, that's just a very easy thing to default to, if you are trained and disciplined. So, you know, she can pick other kind of forms, but that's an easy one to do if you're trying to avoid an attack, essentially, right? And so that's kind of like the idea. She's very disciplined in transformation, like, you know, using the natural ability of a yokai transform, but doing it more like directed, right? Which is why she can also do the dash attack. Where is it? Hopefully I have it here, like, oh, there it is, okay. So, when she's doing this here, right, she's literally, like, turning, essentially, into nearly entirely raw life energy, because, a yokai's body is made up of, condensed life energy, essentially, right? Like, life energy can solidify into specific forms. It can become, like, liquid, solid, or gaseous, depending on, like, you know, and so with this form here, when she's turning into a cloud, she's nearly entirely life energy except her soul, and her soul can't be hit directly. Like, her soul become intangible as well. But she can only sustain it for very small periods of time, you know, and she needs to prepare up, like, re-solidify her body again in order to get back to that. And that's pretty much like, you know, this is why there's a lot of fun with the animation in particular, right? Oh, that's the jump animation that's not done. This is why I can be so flexible and over the top of the animation. Is because you know, she's a yokai, so she can already do a bit of shapeshifting as it is. But what keeps her being distinctive, right? It doesn't make her very powerful because she can take a lot of hits. I built her like a very fast glass cannon, which like I haven't added the level to this particular build yet. You can kind of see that like she's already quite fast, and with the dash, shit, I can't jump up there. Yeah, I fucked myself in that regard. Hang on. Oh, weird. Oh yeah, I haven't implemented the restart function into the new build. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, let me just reopen again. So, you can kind of see that like, she's really decent speed due to this. So, yeah. But this night is, like here, it's not meant to be on its own. This is actually usually meant to be a lot more nights happening at once. And that's just, you know, game balance, right? But if you look, this is just a night. Oh. Oh, I haven't set up hit collision for this build. God. Well, you know, here's an easy fix. Because I'm dumb. Just show you the prior Lily. Because I've been reworking for her for a long time. So she's getting like Alpha 2, I would call it. Which is pretty close to done. Where is it? Oh. Okay, Goku, yeah, Goku Warrior. I clarified it earlier, but I want to make sure, since you've actually asked the comment, yeah. I put Thorne on pause because I need to make sure that like I restabilize what I'm doing, right? When I was working on Thorne, I nearly burnt myself out completely because I didn't have healthy habits when I was working on it, right? And it kind of pains me to say that because when I took a long break from Thorne in order to like recuperate, I actually, after doing that, I actually made a pretty big jump in terms of like my ability to do things, right? Because I basically burnt myself out so badly, I could, even though I was working hours every day, I basically produced nothing. Because like all the coding and all the animation just slowed to an absolute crawl. It was really bad. But like I do want to like actually like, you know, make Thorne a reality. Like I can even show you the last build I had and all the animation I have with Thorne, right? But Thorne is on pause at the moment. I want to be very clear with that. And I want to put it on pause until I complete the Golden Flame. Because, as I said earlier, I treat, yeah, there's all this dumb stuff there. I treat Thorne essentially as the key of stars for me, right? For Sabotage Studios. And Golden Flame is a messenger, right? Golden Flame is a game where I can still be passionate and work as hard as I can on this game. But it's more in a reasonable scope where I don't need like a lot of people, right? I can rely a lot on myself in terms of like this kind of thing here. With Thorne, the scale of the game requires me to get more than me to animate, right? Because it will take like a lot longer to complete, realistically. I may be a decent animator, but I realize, oh, why did, oh, fuck off! Sorry about this. Why did it activate that one? Are you kidding me? I clicked the Thorne project. Sorry about that. I've done like dumb, goofy like experiments in the background. One with a fucking Turo one because I'm a bloody weeaboo. Okay, so I clicked the wrong one. I'm just stupid. But yeah, like I am healthy now in terms of like what I'm working on. Right. That's why I've been making a lot of progress with the Golden Flame. It's just the first time I've really talked about it on the channel, right? And I want to like be a lot more, you know, like the reason I'm making a video now is because I want to show the Golden Flame, right, and show everything I've done. I've completed like a good, like most of these enemies here are like nearly complete. Some of them have already been completed, but they're older versions of it. Like for example, no longer in use. You can kind of see the different versions of like enemies I've completed before. But I've recoded them each time, and the same with Lily. I've even made a full blown, yeah, like oh, thank you. Like, it's based on a GB, the Game Boy, right? Specifically, hang on. Let me grab it. You're gonna like this. Inspiration folder. I think that's the good one. Yeah, it is. Okay. I've got a massive inspiration folder here, but the main thing... Oh, come on. Okay, so you can see here, this is, yeah, Tower Heaven. Tower Heaven is like a game that, like, I really found endearing, and, like, the original, not original, but, like, the head director, because I'm not the director, keeping that in mind, he made, like, there's a version of, the Golden Flame, hang on, for a game jam, which it should really show you, like, how far the game's come, okay, Game Boy, is this it? Ah, yeah, found it. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, this is like the first version of Golden Flame, right? You can kind of see the images here. And this is actually where the first version of Mini Lily came from, right? Like you got this particular game here. So Cthulhu Studios, I don't know what he wants to be called online because he doesn't want to use his current the name I always call him anyway. So just call him, like, you know, call him Cthulhu, right? Cthulhu here, right? Actually, like, you know, he was entering this into a Game Boy Jam, and like he, you know, after it was done, he was like, yeah, do you want to join with me and like make a game? And this was after I recovered, right? But and you know, when I was still trying to get my bearings a little bit, and I thought, okay, like this, you know, this is kind of a game where, you know, I think I could put a lot of effort and passion into, and it blew up like massively, but in a good way, where like it went from like a, you know, small scale game for sure, to something where, like, you know, it's not as large as Thorne. Thorne is fucking ginormous, right? Like I think I underestimated just how much certain things were gonna be, right? Hang on, let me find it. I want to show you like the actual game in its early state. There we go. Okay. Just open this here. Crack it open. Oh, that's loud. Oh, that is loud. Hang on. Volume mixer. Oh god. Hand, you fucker. Okay. Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So that's the Golden Flame, right? So this is what he made for the Game Jam. Yep, that's Lily. That's the original version of Lily, anyway. Yeah, and that's the cackle. I forgot about that. Yeah, so originally she was like a kind of catgirl thing. Now she's like a mix of weird stuff. It's kind of, yeah. So, oh, whoa, oh, I forgot how floaty the jump is. Holy crap. Yeah, the game's going really far from here. Holy crap. But yeah, like, but like, I don't know, it's still very endearing. That's why I liked it. Oh, shit. These enemies are way too tanky, though. Fuck them. Okay. Those enemies can be re-added into the game, though. They're kind of like, more soldier type. Okay. The game doesn't have the dash or anything, but it does. Oh, fuck. I'm terrible with some of this. Oh, wait. There we go. So that's like one of the majors. Oh shit. I'm just gonna try and get to the boss. Yeah, like we've already updated the environment. There's some beautiful stuff. Or it's kind of like I would say this is like the game. This is the original. This is like the Game Jam small edition. Like this is like the beginning of the idea of Golden Flame, right? And you know, we took the idea and like completely ran with it, you know, because it was a really cool and fun idea, like, you know, and like what I like is, like, you know, it gives me a real nostalgic feel, and for sure, like, we are like, you know, this, oh god, fuck, oh, because that's a Medusa head in this game. Medusa heads in this, in the, like, in the current version of Golden Flame are not these weird, like, goblin guys. They're actually, fairies. They're, oh shit, oh god. Also, there's an upgrade system in this that isn't, like, it's kind of been reworked into, like, oh shit. Oh god, I'm so bad! Holy crap. Like, it's just because I'm so used to, like, how the game plays at the moment. Because you can kind of see the Castlevania origin. Oh, fucking damn it. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Oh shit, there we go. So with the Castlevania Origin, right? This is why the game's a lot slower and everything like that, you know. But it's kind of a weird mix of a platformer and that. And this is actually where the first projectile came from, right? Oh shit! Oh no! I'm dumb. I was trying to explain stuff and I lost alive. Shit. Okay, but you kind of get the idea. Yeah. Thank you, game, for giving me HP, but I'm kind of fucked now. Yeah, the earlier version is really rough, but like it's got so much damn charm to it. There we go. So like there's already like kind of equivalent to this in the current build of the game. So if I show you now, right? Here we go. I'll show you like the Thorne thing. I should save that for a separate video, but like I did get a bit further with Thorne, okay? Like but I'll do that after because I think I do want to kind of keep this on the Golden Flame as well a bit as well. I'll go through and explain more of the stuff later when it comes to that. Okay, so the enemies that are kind of like the equivalent at the moment is this knight is meant to be the heavy tankier enemy. Coffin is a texting dummy that I use for certain situations. I use it for I use it to build every enemy in the game. That's how like I experimented with it. It's kind of like it is literally like the text dummy for the entire game. Excuse me. Then there's the fairy shrines, which they spawn fairies. So I'm just gonna put this up here, roughly about there. Gorilla's not fully implemented. Grey Fairy's not fully implemented yet because I haven't got the sprite done yet. Then there's the wolf. The wolves are fun. These ones are not fully a lot of enemies are fully done because I've reworked the enemy system severely, right? So the knight is the only one that's fully done. But what's the Amano? The Amano is the equivalent to the homing mages, right? A little bit. I'm gonna get rid of the wolf because the wolf is really busted and shit. So if I go and bring that one up. Okay, yeah, spoilers there, I guess. What? Wait, hang on. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Is this... Oh, yes, because I didn't add Lily. Okay, I'm just mega dumb. Okay, there we go. Lily Alpha 2. There we go. So... you can kind of see this enemy here, right? It has homing bubbles, and the homing bubbles are really nice. You can actually pop them and move around them and everything. And this guy, if he would deploy it, which I think he bugged out a little bit, actually has a really nice clap attack, which I don't think I can get to deploy, unfortunately, because I really fucked up. I fucked up something in this guy's state machine, because I had to rework a lot of state machines and stuff like that. But hopefully I can show it if it will actually work. So he does a bubble shot every 3 jumps, and that's just to keep him balanced. There's no hit collision at the moment. That attack, right there. That attack, I love that attack. I'm very proud of it. Now, you definitely see he's bugged out there. But that attack in particular, right, is, that does, I think 7 damage, and shooting is 10 health, right? So it's something that, you're probably not going to get hit by, but if you do, you'll get punished severely. I'm going to be punishing people who are, bouncing around the air around the Amano too much without thinking. And you see the fairies here. The fairies are the new Medusa heads. They're still a little bit of a work in progress, though. But, yeah, hang on. If I die. Yeah, it has this really tragic little, death animation. Damn it, okay. Okay, just die. Come on. Oh, I accidentally killed... Oh my god, I killed the fucking fairy spawner. Oh, there's so much code that needs to be reworked. Yeah, but also there's nice, there's a lot of nice things that are here, for the most part. Except that little bug. I need to fix that bug going upwards. You should be able to immediately go up. I think I know I've corked it, and that's due to the speed variable. But you can go up and down really nice, and the dash actually follows the slope very well. I love the feel of it, right? Lily's a very fast and dynamic character, which is it's kind of something that we didn't intend, but it ended up becoming that way, and we built the level around it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And her attack, if you see that, right, her attack has really massive combo potential, and what I mean by that is, actually, no, let me, stop, I'm gonna bring the knight in, and I'm gonna change this area a little bit, just so, like, I actually have something to work with. There we go. Get our boy, the poor knight, bullying that guy. You know what? I'm gonna do something funny. Because you know what? If I'm gonna pick on a knight, he needs to be able to fight back. So let's have a look here. Where are the spawners? Oh, spawner all. Okay. I think it's... Yeah. Why did I do that anyway? If I have a look here, I can just change it to night, I believe. Okay, dupe. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that did work. Pretty sure K0 by default. Yeah, cool. Okay. That should do it. Yeah, very simple code for the spawner. You know. Okay, now let's see if that works. It's been a while since I've used the spawner. There we go. This is the older version of it. Oh no. I can tell because of the sound effect. Usually they make a sound effect every step. Yeah, but you can kind of see how this gets out of hand very quickly. This is why spawners aren't in normal levels. They're just for testing purposes, usually. In the last few areas. So you can see, I love the sound, by the way. It's literally based on the Berserk, Berserk sword. Yeah. So you can still dash around them, but it's a little more complicated. And they do that spin attack, which they're going to be doing more frequently. But this is how the attack works. They actually have if you guys set up Lily properly, she should be getting hit when she dodges the enemy, by the way. But when she does the damage, she won't be. So, yeah. So, this is like usually, this is why the knife needs a little bit of a buff, to be fair. I can just hold it like this. Losers. Yeah, so that's the looping potential of the attack. Looping potential is very... Oh, fuck, there's one more. And, frog. I love doing that. So the frog attack killed the knight in 2 hits because it's meant to be taking out this item energy bar. Yeah, I know, right? I love what I did with the like the knight animation. I can show you more detail directly if I grab the grab the folder for it. I really loved animating the knight. Like most of the enemies I've made in this game, I put really great care into, right? Because I have pride as an animator. And I want to do good. So, that's kind of the reason why I do it. I think it was in Area 3, where they first introduced. Fuck this, I'm gonna just type in, oh, never mind, there it is, found it. Okay. So, I believe it's Golem Knight 2. Yeah, it is, okay. So, you gotta look at each of the individual animations, right? There's, the invincibility walk, you get, this, clunky... Hang on, is that the... Huh. That's... No, a decent walk. I'm dumb. I'm incredibly dumb. So, yeah, this is, the current version of the walk, his sword is so heavy, he has to, swing it around, even, just, so it gives him a very unique kind of feel to him, and that's what a lot of enemies are like. I actually got a lot of inspiration for the enemy animation, and some of the exaggeration from Kingdom Hearts in particular, with the Heartless. Because, whatever you think about the human characters, because they're all, fucking weird anime abortions, but the actual, animation, everything itself, right, of the Heartless was a real inspiration, because they're very cartoonish, very over the top, very stylized, they immediately stand out, and they're something that I always found very endearing. And so, I kind of applied that mentality to Knight, but with a bit of physics, right? I thought, okay, how's this heavy Knight of Armor who, this, heavy, Soul, inside like a suit of armor, it's more accurate to say, control himself, and he's bouncing around. Like, he literally bounces, and that's how he walks. I've even got, like, I've written, like, lore for each of the enemies, because I love doing that, right? And the lore, right, behind the Golem Knight is it takes them forever to, like, takes them, like, weeks to learn how to just walk again, because they're not used to being in a, like, in a suit of armor and everything like that. So, yeah, you got... Oh, God, I forgot about that. There's some really goofy old animations that I was experimenting with that really went bad. And then there's the hit stun. I love this hit stun animation, right? The hit stun animation is like, when he gets hit, he's like freaking out, right? He's like, at first, he's like, imagine you hit, you're like, but like, because he's like a soul, right? He's like, not used to that. And his armor actually cracked in the middle. Because Louis' blade is like, no joke, right? It's still a very dangerous weapon. It's just everything around it is way more dangerous. You're like comparing a knife to like a mech, I guess. Or like I guess a power armor is more accurate. So like, it like, the blade like literally split the chest here, and like he's freaking out because, like, he's still human, like, soul, right? Like, so, I mean, he's getting more adjusted to the knight, but like, yeah. He does that, and then, there's death animation, which is still very rough, that needs to be worked on. And the attack overhead is absolutely one of my favorites. I'll just turn off the back layering, it's like annoying. So what happens in the middle of this animation is he turns invincible at some point during it. But it's like just this absolute feeling of power when he hits, right? Yeah, he does. He literally does, like, after, like, he gets hit, he does literally pull himself together, right? Because he's, like, at this point here, he's, like, realized, like, the sword bends, by the way, because his soul is part of the sword, as well, like, or connected to it is more accurate. Because the soul itself in Golden Flame is, like, a small, I imagine kind of like a small orb, right? Soul is not life energy, right? Life energy is very distinct from a soul, because, like, life energy is, like, makes up your vitality. So anyway, like, I can explain it more later, but, yeah, at that point there, though, this is when he starts, like, realizing I have to put myself back together, and he smashes himself back together, like, nearly immediately after. And, gets a little bit of vulnerability before he, goes into, because every time he gets hit, he goes into the invincibility walk. Yeah, he gets a bit of invincibility due to, like, with the Golden Flame, to explain it, because the Hierophant, the final block of the game, he's the big bad in this case, but more interesting, I suppose. He when he absorbed the Golden Flame, he essentially like he's kind of bonded his soul to it, but in a light, fragile way, right? Like he's like trying to hold the reins on the Golden Flame, right? And the Golden Flame's threatening to like overtake him consistently. Because the Golden Flame just devours any energy, and that includes soul. Souls are very, like, they're like, imagine like a more complex structure, like an immensely complex structure, is made from like basic components. That's the way a soul works in the world of Golden Flame, and because he's like essentially controlling the raw energy and the raw might of the Golden Flame, it manifests his will into reality. And his belief into reality. So, really? Wait, which boss? Because I played Dark Souls 3. Maybe I'm a little rusty on like which boss you're thinking of in particular. Which boss is like that actually? Which one are you thinking of? I'm curious. Cool, I should know this already. Hang on, what boss has this kind of idea? I mean, I guess probably like... I mean, Soul Kinder probably counts, but Soul Kinder is more like a collection of people. So that's not quite accurate. Ironically, there's also a boss that is a collection of people. I can actually show you that if you want while you're thinking of it. Where is it? Here it is. This is not going to be the final design for it, though. Unfortunately, we pretty much talked about it. Yeah, this is actually, like, the original concept of this was meant to be a collection of souls bound together, which is why it looks kind of fragmented and broken here a little bit. like with yeah. So anyway, it manifests its beliefs out onto the world, right? Like it literally alters the world. Oh, Dragon Slayer armor. Oh, okay, yeah. Because I thought you were talking about the Hierophant for a second. Yeah, the Golem Knight is like that. Yeah, I actually took an inspiration from a different place though. Okay, Dragon Slayer armor is fucking cool. But the inspiration I took from was actually the guard armor from Kingdom Hearts 1. That's kind of where like that and like the basic like soldier guys as well. Because like later like this knight here is only the first stage of the knight, right? There's an evolved version of this knight later in the game, and when I say evolved, I mean it can control its path independently and float around. Because now it understands that it's a soul bound to, you know, a set of armor, not limited by like the limitations of like a person essentially, right? So, look, when you have enough experience as a Golem Knight, you can do amazing things, right? You could literally like telekinetically throw your sword at people and do other crazy like insane shit, you know, fly around. And there's already a little bit of levitation already at work with this guy, technically. Even as a walker, it does a little bit like levitation to keep itself upright, but it's like subconscious essentially, right? A lot of what it does is subconscious, except the attack overhead, right? You can kind of see that it is picking itself up when it does that, and it slams into the ground, because you know it can do a little bit of it. Like, you know, he's now used to the idea he can float around a little bit, but only a little bit. There's going to be a really fun animation that I'm going to be adding to this guy as well, where what he does, right, he tries to literally float upwards in order to reach where Lily is. Like, if Lily goes too high and she runs away, what will happen is, like, it will literally try to pick itself up and float upwards to where she is and land on solid ground. Or even just walk while floating in the air. That's kind of like an idea I have. And that's to make sure that the Golem Knights aren't as easy to abuse. Because that's kind of one of the problems with the Golem Knight at the moment. That needs balancing. The Golem Knight is very easy to cheese. So yeah. But anyway, I need to make sure getting back to like what we're talking about, right? So because like the Hierophant can manifest essentially all his beliefs out into reality, he didn't willingly choose to do so. It just happens because like his connection to Golden Flame is connected to his very soul. Imagine your soul being connected literally to a powerful form of raw energy, right? And it's an energy that can manifest things already. Can do things. It just starts like, you know, grabbing what's there and just flinging it out into the kingdom. So the knights themselves, these Golem Knights, when they're turning invincible, they're getting a blessing, an indirect blessing from the Hierophant himself. So yeah. Oh man, my throat is dry. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna drink a little bit of water. Yeah, I'm not very experienced with streaming, so yeah, forgive me if I'm a bit like that. Like I've already done a few of them, and this one's been going pretty good so far in terms of me talking, but it could be a little bit more entertaining because it's very off the cuff. I have to admit. You know, originally I was just kind of making this in order to like hang on, let me where did I put the window for the bloody voice chat? There we go. Not voice chat, text chat. Sorry. Yeah. So. But yeah, like you know, before I was just like literally going and making an Enderman, right? Because you know, I'm just making an Enderman just for fun to like relax and have like. Because animation is fun, but like it requires a bit of your attention. It requires a bit of like your mental energy a little bit. Because sometimes animation can be incredibly complex. And again, a good example is actually where is it? Let's make a really cool Lily animation that I'm very proud of. Called Bambuga 2. There's an actual official name for it, but I can't be fucked. So yeah, you can kind of see this. Let me really get in. Turn off that for a minute. Look at that. Look at that. Like, I'm so happy of how well it became. Like, you know, just, it came out so goddamn beautifully. I'll just, hang on, how do I... I'm trying to, like, get more of the image in. There we go. Okay, perfect. So this is actually a tribute to the Grand Croc from Castlevania, and I wanted to do like my own version of it essentially, right? I wanted to really tribute that animation in terms of raw power and that like feeling, right? And that's what I did here, right? Like I decided like I'm just gonna go all out, right? And so I first off do the beam, and then I like. At first, it begins with just a normal beam energy. There's actually like a version of it. I think that. Hang on, I better drag this upwards a little bit. Is this the original version of it? Yeah, it is. Okay, so you can kind of see that it began with like a beam a little bit, with like spikes going through it. Oh god, I'll just go for each frame individually. So I think here. Yeah, here's before I added the bamboo touches. I'm like thinking, okay, I'm just doing like really cool energy stuff, right? And then, oh, that's the early version. Oh god. And then I realized that it kind of looked like a tree. It looked like an organic plant, and so I started really leaning into that. And eventually, I made it into bamboo, right? I was kind of experimenting with these like frames here. And then, like I kind of, it's not fully refined yet, but I kind of refined it to that point. And that's kind of where that, comes in, that main part, right? And the letters were a pain in the fucking ass, because as you can imagine, right, animating letters in perspective that rotate around like a three-dimensional object is not exactly easy. Yeah, if I turn off the back layer, you will see exactly what I'm referring to. Oh, whoops, keep it out of the loop. Yeah, you kind of see it right there. Each of these letters do rotate, and I do want to go back and make them have a bit more weight. I want them to like really come in like very close in front of Lily and hold there for like a second almost, not a hold, but like slow down massively when it's right next to Lily, and then go past swinging like absolute speed, like pew, 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 pew. And I want them to feel like they're not being summoned from like the bottom as much, but like being summoned at her point. Like from about like round about like here, right? Like it should be like that's where it's forming and everything, so it's a bit more closely bound to where she is. If the letters are not going to be separate objects, because this attack is meant to be like kind of an aerial clearer as well, like a general damage dealer. At least I think. I need to kind of experiment more with it. It's still a work in progress, but this early part of the animation where she like goes and does that like that pose wasn't there earlier, but like it looks so good, and then like the actual like subtle frame that she like turns into like a more ambiguous shape that's kind of very stylized. But this one here, I like this frame. It's really cool. Like, it's like very like she looks almost like she's going nearly fully spiritual, right? Like she's losing a lot of like the harder shapes and edges and everything, and she's becoming a full spirit there. Because she's like with this attack, she's literally manifesting only a branch of a great spirit tree, essentially, right? At least in lore, the way I've written things, there is a spirit realm. There are multiple spirit realms, depending on certain religions. There is a heaven, and there is like a kind of a Japanese spirit realm, essentially, right? Akin to Makai. But they're not like they're kind of weird, right? The way I like to treat these spirit realms is like they're Warhammer 40k has like realms of chaos. It's pretty much like that, where spiritual belief is what creates these realms. If enough people believe, not just people, other yokai too. If people in yokai believe enough in a specific idea collectively, it will form a realm, right? And this realm is where spirits and stuff can form, and where it like ingrains more into becoming a more solid realm, right? When you have beings that come from that realm, it ingrains the existence of the realm more, which then perpetuates the realm, right? So, the realms of heaven and realms of like Makai, I guess. I'm gonna call it Makai until I find a better name. This is like a less explored area of the lore, admittedly, like comparison to other stuff. But they're things that this is like a great tree from it, right? So yeah, or a branch from it, and anyway, but like she starts reverting back to a more cold state afterwards, like when she like zaps there, I love just the landing part, like when you go bang, you know, like not like a hard bang, but it's like a light bang that, like, you know, all the energy disperses off like left over. It really feels good, you know. I love what I did with this overall. And so yeah, a few of those. I've shown quite a few of those animations. I want to show a funny one because well, first I'm going to show the spin, and I'm going to show the meme. So the spin animation here is like yeah, like that. I really like how it just feels like, you know, you really swinging around. You like, you know, you got that sort, like, I love perspective moments, right, where it really feels like it's coming into like closer to the camera. I love that stuff, right? It was actually, this animation unironically was inspired by a few things. One of the things was my old not even that old really, the Tank Hammer Slam animation. It's old now actually, now I think about it, but you know what I mean. Where is it? I'll just type in tank. Fuck it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, like it was literally inspired by this animation here. You can kind of see that I wanted to actually emulate that slow heavy effect before, and I still probably will at some point. But like it all just depends, you know. But I love how just like, you know, it's so fucking expressive. And this enemy is like, you know, this is an enemy that's meant to be like less expressive in terms of like, you know, his face doesn't morph too heavily, his body doesn't morph that heavily, you know, it's all like he's kept relatively proportionate in comparison to the enemy because he's a hard suit of armor, but even he's got so much character, just the way he moves and everything. I love it. And here's the meme animation that will probably get into the Easter egg somewhere. So there's a certain cutoff where if he's like spinning around, it'll probably be in a secret little area. Once he gets to this frame here, he throws it. He throws the fucking sword, right? He's like, whee! And then you have to pull it back, regrettably. Because, you know, like, the knights here know that they can control the sword, because it's just not easy, right? You know? So yeah, that's like really funny. I love the idea, just throws the fucking sword. I want to make it cleaned up version of it one day when I get around to it. Ooh, okay, that's the Golem Knight. Okay, another enemy on the table. Let me just go back to here. He's like, you know, like this whole folder. And you can see, you can kind of see like some of the inspirations a lot. There's like, this is from you know, Devilman. We got some really cool like enemy designs. I don't want to spoil everything, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try not to open that. Oh yeah, exactly, right? Like I want to really feel like the knights in particular, just, you know, like, until they become experienced, have that issue a lot, you know, where like they're clunky and everything, but like, you know, they're still dangerous because a lot of the knights who are like pretty much every knight that's been put into a suit of armor has to be a strong-willed soul, because any will that's too weak. Because technically, when you're like let me explain the conversion process. When you are put into a, like, you know, made into a golem knight, right? What happens is your soul is fucking ripped out of your body, right? Completely ripped out of your body, and put into like, it's not phylactery because it's not like long lasting as that. It's more like a it's more akin to like a kind of like a container that holds the soul, right? It's like something that stabilizes it, and there is an energy conduit that absorbs energy from the air, more directed. You need to make something like that in order to like pull energy from the air. It's very specialized, and what happens there, right? Is whew, god damn, it's a hot day today. But what happens there, right? Is like, you know, because of that, the knight now, like, you know, if you're not strong-willed, your soul will just essentially you know, it will like leave, right? Your soul will completely, like, soul can become completely intangible. So unless you like bind a soul really heavily to something, it will just like leave through physical objects and even through soul energy, right? So, you know, and if it doesn't do that, it will self-destruct, right? If an entity truly gives up, its soul will self-destruct, whether or not it's in a strong body or not. So, and losing your physical flesh and everything that comes with it, is soul crushing. It can be something that can be very hard to deal with. So even the strongest willed knights can have a really rough time losing their body, even if for the greater good, which is why they do it in the first place. So yeah, like it's pretty crazy what happened. Oh yeah, Magic Factory there. Magic Factory, like that's just a quick nickname for it. That's where like Golem Knights and various other artificial constructs and other things like that are made. Because there's not very many like automated things like proper true golems, because golem magic is actually very complex and very difficult to handle, and it takes a long time to cultivate, which is the main reason why there's not a lot of them. It's much easier to substitute armor and some specialized equipment or specialized artifacts that like created and put a soul in there, rather than trying to essentially engineer an artificial being that can move and do actions. Like you kind of need like something that's very experienced with it. Most angels, by the way, because you fight angel a lot in the later part of the game, right? I'll go to, I think, Rain Area 4, good. Shit. Oh, no, never mind. Just there, cool, okay. This thing, for example, is an angel, right? This is, really cool. I love the design of it, by the way. Hang on. I think that one I can open up. There we go. So, angels in the world Golden Flame, because souls are made up of multiple things in the world Golden Flame. Every sentient entity has a ego, right? Has a soul. Well, not soul, has an ego within the soul, right? But angels do not. Angels completely lack ego, because they're meant to be pure, and if you have an ego, you can be corrupted, essentially, right? So angels represent more pure concepts that are controlled by a higher authority. They respect order very heavily in that regard. And so this is a thundering virtue, meant to represent the idea of like the virtues in particular from Christian mythology. This thing is technically made from a person. What happens to a person is that their ego gets utterly obliterated, and a lot of their soul gets converted into essentially a raw concept that ends up becoming a singular virtue, which is what ends up being this, right? And so, it's a process that destroys the soul. And this is the death animation for it. Yeah, F in chat to this poor angel. I want really kind of sound when it dies, like, it's kind of like, it's meant to be very akin to like a fairy in the way it dies. But it's kind of like glass. That's the way I treat this. I should make it crack before it like really breaks apart. Like, when it opens up like this here, about there, it should like crack and then fall, right? Like, because I want to feel like that. Yeah, like that's what are we going to show again? I'm going to show you some of the other enemies actually. Oh god, this thing's not fully done yet. This is based on the big giant guy from Bayonetta. I love them. They're great. So I made god eggs. they're very equivalent to like knights, but they're way more dangerous, arguably. And they do some really crazy stuff. You can't see a box there. I don't mind spoiling the boxes actually, like, but people go a lot more to look into aside from just guessing what the final box is gonna be like. It's kind of obvious, at a certain point. Okay, so oh yeah, like I forgot to I want to show you this guy before I actually do that. So this guy here, you see all the inspiration. I took a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy. Like so many points of inspiration. I really love the way like a lot of the concept art is drawn. It's got this very beautiful rendered look. And so I wanted to show I wanted to kind of create one of my own, in a sense, right? I want to create something like it. And so this is a box in the game. It's a secret box. It's the only super box confirmed at the moment. And this guy, like, he used to be a part of the kingdom, but then funny stuff happened. And so he is now a soul bound into, like, a whole bunch of, like, I guess, it's kind of technical. It's not, like, life energy. It's more, dark energy in this case, right? That's been solidified into like this thick goo, and so like he's like this very inky dark knight that's like like he can disappear into his own shadow and reappear. He's very much like a Taurus, and also Guts, I guess. Like we make jokes about Guts because we actually fun fact here, not confirmed, right? Because I don't want to promise anything, right? Of course, right? I want to make sure I'm honest about that. But we want to make DLC, right, for the Golden Flame. And one thing we want to do is make DLC based around this character. Based around our boy here, the Evernight. We need a better name than Evernight. But, like, like, we want to actually, like, make DLC based around this guy, where you actually play as him. And I think that would be really cool. Because there's a lot of ideas we can explore with this guy, too, including, like, some of the more interesting moral questions and everything like that. And this guy is, like, what I like about this guy is he's technically, like, a full-blown, he's a full-blown goat, to a certain degree, until he's bonded with the dark energy, right? And he kind of becomes a yokai almost, but like not really, like not like a true yokai in the sense they've made a yokai. He's become like a spirit entity, right? That's like able to be stable, because true ghosts in the world, Golden Flame, kind of work in an interesting manner. Their soul fucking burns to sustain them. So usually, the way like ghosts work in the world Golden Flame is when you die, you should try like your soul will enter into the cycle of reincarnation, or if you worship a particular religion, you'll go to that plane, the religion's plane, spirit plane. If you do not, then you'll go into the general cycle of reincarnation that the world has. And if you refuse to do so because you're too wrathful or too bound to the world for some reason or another, what will happen is your soul will start to essentially burn itself to sustain a body, right? Even if it's a very weak one, or like a very like ethereal one, right? And will try and take energy from other beings, right? That's why ghosts are dangerous. Ghosts are not evil necessarily, of course, but ghosts can, like, over time, have more and more of their soul obliterated by the process if they don't get stable enough soul energy. If they do, they can become like a being, like a proper normal being again. But if they don't, their soul will continue to burn until it become basically a hollow, but a hollow with a condensed, singular-minded focus on a particular idea. So, say a ghost can become maybe akin to an Oni, arguably, or not an Oni. I guess more just a wrathful undead. It just becomes a pure wrath form that Oh, I've checked out Blasphemy before. I haven't played it yet though. I've seen some of the stuff in Blasphemy. It's beautiful, right? I would actually like to play it. Admittedly, because Blasphemy looks really cool. I love like a lot of the stuff it does. It's got like it's very like on point with like this whole excuse me, like this whole Crusader era kind of feel where there's a lot of concerns about heresy and blasphemy and stuff like that, and a lot of people are like whipping themselves and stuff like that. It's got that very punishing kind of feel where you're punishing yourself in order to redeem yourself for God, right? I like that feel. It's really cool. It's definitely something I want to check out a bit more. To be fair. Oh god, how long have I been going? Holy shit. An hour. I'm not used to streaming and it's a hot day. But now I want to show a few more enemies. I'll probably be getting off after. I'm not used to streaming, and I want to do something a bit more akin to like a proper edited video, I guess. Because I want to do an edited video because I want to promote the game, right? Because I want people to know about the game because I don't want to sign on with a publisher or anything, right? And so I want to try and get support from people who directly are interested in the game, in terms of the audience anyway. And then just work from there, right? God, I'm lightheaded as shit today. Okay, so let me go to area 1, right? So Oh my god, the gorilla. I forgot about the gorilla. Oh no. Oh my god. To explain the troll face, I was trying to do a completely different expression. I fucked up, and it ended up becoming troll face. Oh, the Amano bubble. Oh, so cute. Oh, look at it. Okay, so this is actually like an enemy in the game. This is like I've made for each of the enemies, like enemies that are like in the first area and a couple other areas, right? Anything that has an organic nature to it, like an animal, or like a yokai in this case. You know, like they usually have a smaller form, right? They have a form that like they begin with and what they evolve into later. So this is like the Amano, the first form of the Amano, and known as the Amar. Where's the like? There we go. Oh, the Amano kicks ass. Okay, so crack that open. Oh yeah, this animation's not in yet. So there isn't. So this is like the bubble attack animation, and that's the clap. I love the clap. The clap is like one of my favorite animations I've made in terms of like raw power. It's like bam, it's like, you know, it's like kind of a bubble bursting, which I like as well. This is like one frame that like when I was, oh shit, you know what? Okay, fuck it. Like, you know what? Not many people are watching the stream. Like, I'm gonna spoil some stuff. This is what I'm planning to do with the Amano. I'm planning to actually update it so it's actually translucent, like the baby Amano, like this one here. Yeah, like this like, yeah, you see that? Yeah, like I took a lot of inspiration from like from that one, right? So you guys see the Monarch evolution. This here, I added like a lot of effect work, and I like the effect work so much that I re-added it back to here, right? But I added a few touches and everything like that. And it gave such a great impact. It was such a good idea to do. And so I don't regret that at all. But this flyball animation here, let me turn off the background. It's actually a custom animation made for special Amano. Because it's not generating a bubble, it's generating an Erica ball. An Erica ball is a nasty piece of work, right? A very, very dangerous piece of work, I would say. Where essentially, like, you know, it charges up this ball, it compresses all the air and energy, like Amano are marked of like energy, like air to energy manipulation, right? Like they're very good at like grabbing energy from the air. And even from the water, because they're like bubble based, so they have like an outer water layer. That's something I've added recently. They're marked as like grabbing all the energy and condensing it down like this. And so Erica balls are tracking, but they can't be destroyed by a sword swing, right? They're very dangerous, which is why I love it. And I love the spin, right? It's like, you know, will, you know, like it does that, and then it just shoots off the ball, like, you know, that's the like. I love what I've been doing with all these enemies. It's so... It makes me proud as an animator, right? It makes me really damn proud as an animator. Yeah, so that's the Amano. You've already seen the Amar. Oh, you see the Kirby. Yeah, you see that I was trying to get references for bubble. Because making a bubble is surprisingly a lot harder than you think. You know, like, you kind of need to know what you're doing. At first it seems very easy, but later it's like, oh, what am I doing? You know, like that. There's the wolf. The wolf is like one of the most crazy enemies I made because it's just a weird enemy and I love it. So you get this like a dash attack, for example. Let me go here. That's like a normal side-on dash, right? So what the enemy will do, right, is it will like bloody like when it's like close enough, like not too far, not too close, but like, you know, close enough to where it can reach you at the end of this. It will do like a quick dash attack and it'll try and bite at you, like, you know. And I love that, like, I love what I did with the yokai. I made all the yokai like shape-shifting creatures that really have it in their nature to shapeshift, and so I can be so fucking expressive with the animation. I love it. So like, you know, you get this one jumping, like his flame disappears under, like, you know, fuses into his body quickly. And then we bite down, he reforms, he pulls all the energy back out and pull the tail out there, you know. and like it's crazy like that. And also, by the way, it's worth mentioning, with yokai, due to the way like their souls are made, especially like any like spirit mainly, but mainly yokai in this specific case too. Beings in the world of Golden Flame are made with like they have fundamental concepts like made along with their soul, because they have the ego and they have fundamental concepts that shape how the ego will act when it first begins, right? And they become fundamental to the being, right? So the wolf has a concept of a wolf. They have a concept of teeth, of claws, of like which is why it like of eyes and everything like that, of a very like frontward predatory instinct. And the flames are like specifically a part of like the formation of like where it is, right? It's part of it's built with religious ideas too. So in this case, it's built with the idea of being a yokai. So it does actually lose a little bit of energy with some of these flames, but it also gives it some like it gives it light as well, which makes it easier to see in the dark as well, and also is like an indicator to scare off other enemies. Yeah, so the jump is another one, because the jump leads right into that, like, this is the upgraded version of the animation, and I love it, just like, it just bangs up, and just like, spring low, spins around. It's still a little clunky up here. I think I can make the spin look a little bit more natural, or the rotation, so it doesn't look like a, literally what I did, which is rotate it. I can clean up a few of these, like here and there, but like, I love this frame here. Look at the explosion, like, rah, like it's like nasty fucking teeth and everything like that, and then it just like the eyeball comes out and there's energy whipping around everywhere. It's a primal creature. It's not efficient at all. It's like an absolutely insane monster as it's like trying to tear into you, which is what I love about it. And like this little like you get that bite there and you get the loop. If I can, there we go. You get this loop here where like it's continually dashing. It's like its teeth are like gnashing together and everything like that, and it's like energy whipping out of his mouth in the form of like a tongue and everything. I love how primal it is, right? I love how like just insane and like off the wall it is. And then there's like two deaths I've experimented with. I'm not happy with either yet. Like I was happy with this one at a certain point, but like I'm gonna have to rework it. So this is the first death animation I made, right? Where it gets struck and then it like tries to eat itself, but it's not very noticeable. The concept is it eating itself like an Ouroboros, so it becomes more like a yin yang as it flows away into oblivion. Because now all it's got left is like just residual energy and whatnot. I do want to change a few things about this specific yokai, that like it's not just life energy, it's dark energy as well. I need to like really dark energy is less clarified than life energy, and that's a real problem. Like, no, the wolf itself, no, because the knight and to explain how the wolf works, right? The wolf is a yokai. A yokai essentially in the world of Golden Flame is a soul with a few basic concepts. So it has an ego and it has like a few concepts that make up its form as a wolf, essentially. And then the rest of this body that you can see here, because the soul, like you don't see the soul here. The soul is basically intangible, and often it's invisible and tangible most of the time. The certain spell can grab a soul, and bring it into like a proper realm. But what happens here is like its body is made out of life energy, entirely. Like its body, like most all yokai, including Lily. Their bodies are entirely made of life energy, but life energy can be solidified, right? Yeah, like, that's what I like about the yokai. They're so fucking fun to animate, right? I've been doing it for other enemies too, like the angel do a bit of this as well, but like the yokai is such a great example of it, right? Where it's like, it's extremely primal, so it just goes bloody nuts and just does whatever, shapeshifts and, focuses on its teeth and its eyes and all kinds of stuff like that. And this death animation here is meant to be it chomping itself to death. But it looks too much like it. It loses its kind of yokai feel a little bit, with the bright outlines and everything. I wanted it to be more inky and stuff like that. So that, like, I'm gonna fuse these two animations together essentially, like conceptually, and make a third one. And that's all for the wolf animation, okay. It's just a whole bunch of other frames. But you can see that one there too. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, it probably is. There is a little bit of latency issues, I would say, on my end. I think part of it is actually I'm using a lower bitrate. I need to... hang on, I can't change it right now, but, hang on, I'm just gonna quickly... Just gonna screenshot that for later, because, it might help improve things for, everyone. So we'll just do that. Okay. I might also be that I'm delayed by a minute. I think that's because, I know on the stream I'm delayed by a minute. I'm pretty sure, I think. I'm not very experienced with streaming immediately, so yeah. Okay, so one more anime I'm going to show before I close up for tonight, because it's 10 p.m. Is the Zemo. It's called Monkey here. So you got the little Z, you got this little guy here, like so that's the basic form of this being, but the grown-up form, because it evolved into a gorilla eventually, but the in-between form, and one of the more common ones, is the monkey. And the monkey has a few animations that I like. So that's the climb animation. That's a old fry animation that's not being used. So you can kind of see this arm actually fused into the tree, like and its tail was meant to be fused into it as well. But I'm kind of reworking that because the tail fused in and the arm's a bit less weird. Then there's the jump walk. The jump walk was the first animation I made for this guy, and I love it. It's just like boing, 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 boing. This is literally how he walks on the ground. I love it. It's so good. So if you knock him out of the tree, because you can do that, he needs to get back onto a tree in order to like climb it. So that's why the walk is there, and that's how he runs away, which is what I like. Where's the angry face? Oh my god. Hang on. Okay, I'm not going to show that just yet. Okay, so this here is one of my favorite animations for the monkey. It's not entirely cleaned up. It needs to be refined a little bit. But look at this. I'm going to turn on the back layer so you can really get a feel for it. Look at that! And this already works in game, by the way. I should have shown this when I was showing the gameplay. But like, his face is actually a mark plate. It's like a kind of life energy can condense so heavily it can become like real hard, like wood even. Like life energy can do a lot of crazy shit. You know, it is foundation. It's kind of like the foundational building block of a lot of non organic material or non like metal material, right? It can emulate things because life energy can be converted into like things that represent concept, like it can interact with the soul, and so it can interact with things that represent simple concepts and whatnot in a form. It imitates them, essentially. And so it can repair things too, because it can end up becoming a permanent part of the thing as well. But with Yokai here, like, you know, the rest of his body is very, like, liquid and morphy, but I want the face to be, like, a mark, right? To kind of give the impression that, like, a monkey is a little bit more intelligent than a wolf. Like, it's got, like, a little bit more life energy, so it can put a little bit more into being a bit more intelligent, but not quite up to a level of something like Lily, right? So, it's got, like, this hard marked face because it has a sense of identity. It has, like, it has a little bit of sentience, you know? And so I'll be able to be so expressive with the mark itself, like, and it swings down, crashes into the ground a little bit, like, boing, you know, and then it shoots off the energy, like, focusing down, and then it pulls itself back. Like, you know, it does this really goofy pull where, like, you know, pulls his arms in, pulls his body around, and then slams his arms back out, and then it, like, goes back into default position. Which is why I should make it, like, not hold on to a tree with his arm, to be honest. Because this is meant to be only done within a tree. Because the way it gets the energy to do this is it actually, because it's a little bit more intelligent, it pulls energy directly from the tree. Now, it's very hard to do this, and the only way you can really do this is by being angry enough to do it. Because it's still not that smart. It's only smart enough to, like, you know, do a few things. But yeah, like it's kind of like and it shoots out like this bloody energy beam, right? That I'm really like, I'm such a fan of. I literally based it on the Goku's Kamehameha. Whew. And so like because like, you know, Monkey King obviously, right? Like, so that's the energy beam when it comes out of his mouth. Doesn't look that impressive here, but it feels impressive when it's like coming out of the mouth, right? It's like a bang, you know. There needs to be a longer telegraph though. That's something we're going to be changing in the game. And that's about it for like most of the enemies. Like there's a lot more enemies. You know, there's like greater fairies have like, you know, art. The 8 boxes art. You know, like the gorilla's getting formed and everything. But oh, the fairies. I'll show the fairies another time. I'm tired. I'll show one thing from the fairy though. If I have it. Do I? Are you kidding me? I don't have the fucking goddamn it. Okay, there we go. So, oh, I don't know why that happened for the background, but yeah, like when a fairy dies. Oh, yeah, I actually intend to do that. That's what I intend to do. It's already like clinging to the tree anyway. Excuse me. So I want it to be like I do want it to be that, like, you know, it focuses entirely or hanging on the tree using its tail, which I think is more distinctive anyway. It's just something I haven't gone around to yet. So yeah, this is like a normal fairy flight. Fairies in the world of Golden Flame are very like they're very they're very fragile. Let's just say that, right? They're like literally fae. They're like small spirits that are incredibly weak that like are just made from like nature, right? They're made from they particularly represent nature concepts in particular. They all have a soul, most yokai do, and it's not technically yokai because fairies are more neutral, right? They're just embodying nature as rawly as it can. So yeah, like, but like because of like the way fairies work, they're just thrown into the world and they're just like, you know, they have to rely entirely on instinct to try and fly, so they panic a lot, and a lot of them die just by crashing to the ground. That's a sad bit of lore, but it's kind of funny. And this is the dash, or as I realistically what you would call it, like a fairy sacrificing itself to try and kill you. So because if it can kill you, its sisters can get like a lot of life energy, and fairies are purely female because the Amano are the male equivalent to a fairy. Fun fact. And they're made in like different ways, but they're the male equivalent, right? They can actually reproduce together and actually make like hybrid children, essentially, like kind of stronger spirits, essentially. And yeah, so the death animation is it loses wings and just falls to its doom, which is kind of sad, but yeah. And the last thing is the creation animation, which is it comes from a shrine, so it literally just the shrines are like dedicated to nature in particular. They're the most classical like idea of nature. So because of that, they tend to draw the energies and are able to condense down and reproduce the concept into smaller forms that become fairies. So that's how that works, right? Like an ego, for example, is very simple when an entity is first created. So egos are a lot easier to make, usually. Like, as long as you have an ego and a concept, you're good, right? Because in this world, there's no real tabula rasa. If you try to make a raw ego with no concept, it will just latch onto a concept very quickly in the nature. Or it will just disappear because it has nothing to really work from. So yeah, like there's no tabula rasa in the world of Golden Flame. But yeah, like so that's everything essentially. Like fairies manifest from that, like, you know, from shrines condensing down like that concept, and that's the same thing with the Amano. The Amano can come from shrines as well. Yeah, I'm knackered. I think I'm gonna get off now. But I've had fun talking. I've had real fun, like actually talking to people who are interested, and you know, I appreciate people asking about Thorne. Next time I want to talk a bit more about Thorne and really like show what I was up to when I porked it. You know, I do care a lot about Thorne. I'm glad people care as well. And one day I will make Thorne a reality. I damn well will, because, you know, like, it's one of those things. It's one of those games that like really means a lot to me. You know. It's something I can't let go. I'm too stubborn for that. But it's something that I had to put on pause, you know. But think of, I would like to everyone, you know, to come up the work of this, I would like everyone to think of Golden Flame as the messenger, like, you know, it's our messenger, right? And Thorne will be Arceus Dark, you know, in that way. Or another way to put it in my own, yeah. I'm glad there's lots of potential. I'm glad a lot of people really like what's happening here. Like, I'm very proud of like how far the game's come. I'm really proud of the Golden Flame. So, you know, I definitely want to show it off more, right? I want to really show it off to everyone around here, and like, you know, even upload some of the like little clips and YouTube videos I've done. Well, not YouTube videos, but I made like video clips and I put them on Twitter. I'm gonna put them here too, and yeah, you know. So you know, like, what I've done before. And yeah, like, if you enjoy it, yeah, like, just let other people know. That's really all I ask, you know. Nothing else, really. And I'll be trying my best with this, you know. And, I guess, to recount my own work before, Golden Flame is the first, it's going to be the first stepping stone, you know. And, it'll be, like, a small, precious diamond, I guess, you know. That's the way I see it. And Thorne will be another bigger diamond. Yeah, or a star is more accurate, I guess. Thorne will be a star in the sky. Okay, that's it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna end the stream, and yeah, like, have fun, everyone. And GG, end the stream. Yo. Wait. Oh fuck. I'm dumb. There we go. Okay.